just think that there's not enough people recognizing what a huge gift this thing is. In fact, if the guy would have lost at the primary, you wouldn't have that, right? Like if Cuomo won, for example, if he would have won and advanced, it would have been business as usual. There would have been no additional ammunition. I think this is such a good thing, especially how radical that guy is. I think him represent. Like if he was running as an independent, it'd be one thing, but he's not.
Well, as soon as he defunds the police or the police turn their back, and let's not forget, the police did this in New York City. They turned their back on de Blasio. They decreased their visibility. They didn't go to necessarily every cause. And what was the community in New York City screaming about? Well, we need to get this under control, blah, 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 blah. You guys did a 180 after defund the police movement ended, and in fact increased and wanted to bring about more training, more police on scenes to control more of it. You were terrified around New Year's Eve. You were terrified around multitude of events. And now you want to end all that because now this guy's up here in these progressives think some fat, obese social worker at whatever rate you're going to pay them is somehow going to fix the crime problem. No, that's not going to happen. No, there's no way in hell. We did this shit twice in my lifetime, and it has never fucking worked.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited about this, and I disagree with Thundercat saying that if he wins, we're done. Look, I will feel bad for the people of New York City, but I think net it would be a good thing if this guy wins, because he would run the city into the fucking ground, and it'll be the use case that we can point to from here to eternity. And so, look, take it out of the textbooks, man. Everybody romanticizes these ideas, and they think that, because it sounds nifty, that somehow it's going to work. I want to see it happen. I genuinely want to see it happen. In fact, this is going to sound crazy, but when Bernie Sanders was running, I was hoping that he would have gotten the Democratic nomination and could have put those ideas front and center. And I would even be willing to sacrifice to a 4-year term of somebody like a Sanders or an AOC. I understand that sounds crazy, but what we have to do is we have to see once and for all when the fucking real radicals, because let's be honest, we say that Biden is radical because he had bad ideas. We said Obama was radical because he had bad ideas. But they're not even the radical. Those are like the moderately bad ideas. Just imagine if the real fucking motherlode of all bad ideas was given the executive branch. It would be a terrible time for America, but I think it would be able to mark a moment in time of just to be able to say, this is how bad this is how people in Europe learned how bad socialism was. They had to go through it.
Are you referring particularly to Switzerland, how they went through their little, 40-year, 30-year period of socialism and then flipped and said, oh, hell no, we're going bankrupt, we can't.
Well, that's one example. I'm thinking more of the goddamn former Soviet bloc countries. I mean, if you ever talk to an American that came from somewhere like Romania and, and lived through just the motherload of bad ideas, they become the best Americans. I can't, honestly, my favorite Americans I've ever met are from Romania. They fucking get it because they've lived through it. And when they hear these ideas, they're like, oh, fuck. Some people from Latin America, too, fit the same thing. They were, they'd gone through, the implementation of these bad ideas. And so I actually think, the U.S. going through a period of this would be good for us. That being said, it'll have a short-term pain, and I can understand why people would want to avoid that. I'm thinking long game, it would probably be good for us to expose.
I get your point. I mean, some of my favorite people are